Episode 38 of the Specktators podcast. I'm your host, Packy, alongside Moe-T.
85-year-old Packy.
That's right.
You can only hope you look that good at 85.
Moe-T showed up to the office today, slapped down a Halloween mask on my desk.
You got to get festive.
Apologize if the audio is a little rough. Moe-T's talking through about 5 feet of hair. For those of you that aren't watching on YouTube.
So if I actually grew this beard, it wouldn't be podcast worthy.
If I could grow a beard like that, I would.
Yeah.
That shit's fly.
Yeah, it's a little bit ridiculous, but.
So Halloween. Are you a Halloween guy?
I am not a Halloween guy anymore. I think I used to be, but I mean.
When you were 7?
I mean, I used to be pretty imaginative.
Yeah, no shit. You used to love dressing up.
Yeah. Well, somebody's got to come up with the ideas.
You were that superhero, man.
Someone's got to come up with the ideas.
What was your superhero that you made up?
Hider.
Ill at hiding.
Dope.
So,
killing it.
As far as the major holidays go, we'll say Christmas, Halloween, Easter, Thanksgiving, New Year's Eve, Valentine's Day. Rank them.
All right, so I got Christmas, Thanksgiving, New Year's Eve. It's a toss-up between Valentine's Day and Easter to me. And Halloween's got to be last.
What do you like about Easter?
I don't know. I like getting together with
like,
family.
What's different between Easter and Halloween? You like that Easter is like just on a weekend and you get time off, whatever, and just be with the family? That's what you like?
Yeah, I like just being with the family and stuff. Yeah, I think those type of holidays are dope.
And what do you like about Valentine's Day? The fact that you got to do a bunch of shit for your woman?
I don't have to. My woman's not like that, though. I don't have to do a bunch of shit for her.
So what do you do on Valentine's Day?
I don't know.
Like any other day?
Yeah, but it's just like, I mean, it is, but I don't know. Like, I think it's better than Halloween.
Here's my assessment. Christmas, Thanksgiving, top 2, not even close. Number 3 is like not even remotely close to those top 2. All right? And you can put those in any order you want for me. It just depends on what you like to do on those holidays. But Christmas and Thanksgiving are an easy top 2.
Okay.
Then I can definitively say Valentine's Day is last. Just pointless. Just some made up bullshit. Like if you want, like if you like just going out and getting dinner with your woman, you can literally like just go do that on a Wednesday. I don't get Valentine's Day. But whatever, that's just me. Maybe I'm a party pooper. And then
I mean, I get it.
Easter, Halloween, New Year's Eve are the final 3 left to fill out the 3, 4, and 5 slots.
All right.
I guess I'll give New Year's Eve the edge slightly. But the older I get, the more New Year's Eve is like, overrated. New year, new me, bullshit.
Yeah.
And you know, I'm not into like the club scene anymore. You know what I mean?
No.
I don't like just going out and getting fucked up at the club.
Right.
So that's what a lot of New Year's. Now, the reason I maybe give New Year's Eve a slight edge on Halloween and Easter is because it is there's always like a cool feeling about a new year. You know, like for as phony as it is sometimes, like the idea of just a clean slate, who you're ringing in New Year's with, get your friends together. But I'd much rather, with anything, do like a cool get together with my friends rather than like go out to the club.
Yeah, for sure.
But New Year's Eve, if I had to choose, I'd give that a slight edge over Easter and Halloween for the 3 spot. I'll give Halloween a slight edge over Easter if I have to, just because Halloween is just a little like, I don't know. There seem to be more parties and stuff around it. Like there's more fun around Halloween, decorations, costumes, things like that. Like Easter's just like what does Easter have other than candy, which Halloween has? Like, so I'll give Halloween a little bit of edge out there on creativity. So if I had to run it down for you, I'm gonna go Christmas, Thanksgiving, New Year's Eve, Halloween, Easter, Valentine's Day. What do you think?
You're setting the precedent with Valentine's Day that you just don't like being forced to do anything like romantic.
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, I get it. I just I think it's the same thing as any other like celebration thing. Like, it's like, I don't know, like New Year's. Like, I'm forced to bring in the New Year and do all these things. Like, why?
But that's the thing, dude. Nobody's forcing you. Like, for New Year's, you can kind of make an exact, like, we're assuming.
But who's forcing you for Valentine's
We're assuming
Day?
you got a woman, right?
Okay.
Right? Because otherwise this whole Valentine's Day thing is like a moot point.
Right.
So we're going to assume you got a woman. Take New Year's Eve or Halloween, right?
Yeah.
You get to make a decision, the two of you, on like, what do we want to do for this? Right? Now, Valentine's Day, and obviously, you know, people have different significant others, so this isn't just like an absolute rule, but a general idea of Valentine's Day is if you got a woman, you better do something romantic on Valentine's Day because it's Valentine's Day.
I mean, but I think it should go both ways though. I don't think it should be just the guy.
Yeah.
Like, I think you're in a pretty shitty relationship if it's just the guy.
Yeah.
I mean, that's just me. To each their own, but I wouldn't want to be in a relationship like that.
Talk your shit.
I'm just saying.
What'd Aaron do for you last Valentine's Day?
I think we had a pretty low-key Valentine's Day. I don't think we really did much.
See, Glow's not into Valentine's Day either, thank goodness. So, but she's super into Halloween. Like, that's by far her favorite holiday.
Yeah.
And so, you know, I'm not always the best, but I try not to rain on the parade. I can sometimes be too much of a hater, but since in the fall,
A hater on what?
Halloween.
No, I mean like
I'm not that into dressing up. I say that with this old man mask on my face, but
right.
I'm just, I don't know, not that into it, but I do it for her, you know, especially because in the fall I'm watching football every Saturday, Sunday. So Halloween comes around, the least I can do is dress up a couple times.
Right.
But I have been salty at her low key the last, we did two different costumes this last weekend. The first one was Dumb and Dumber. And she basically didn't have anything crazy on. And I'm the one out here wearing the helmet and goggles. And then we did Billy Hoyle and his girl, Gloria, pun intended. And she's out here not looking anything crazy, and I'm out here dressed like a douche going out. So she's played me the last couple of years. Yeah. But, you know, that's her thing, Halloween, so do what you got to do.
Yeah, but everybody looks like a douche on Halloween.
Not her.
Yeah, but girls have a weird... I think that's why guys, the older we get, the more of a problem I think we have with Halloween. Is because, like, what are we supposed to do?
Okay, I was talking to Dags about this, too. As much as I'm not, like, voluntarily just going out and dressing up, like, if I didn't have Gloria, I'd be sitting at home, right?
Right.
I'm not that into that shit. But if I'm going to dress up, I want my costume to be good, or I don't want to dress up at all. Like, I don't want, I'm not into just doing some like bum ass.
I agree.
What are you?
Yeah.
Like, throw on one little thing and call yourself something.
Yeah. I like to do something clever. Like, that's not, that a lot of people wouldn't be thinking about or whatever.
I feel you.
That's the fun. That was always the fun of Halloween for me when I was in like high school and college.
Right.
Is like doing like, because if I couldn't think of anything any certain year, I wouldn't want to go out like and do it just because like, cool, I'm going to go, what, as
I feel you.
A Power Ranger or Batman or whatever.
Yeah, like
that's stupid.
In our younger years, like, you know, high school, early college, there are a lot of Halloween parties. Like, you dress up and you go to Halloween parties. So Halloween is definitely, it's got that going for it. I mean, a reason Glow loves Halloween is she's super into scary movies.
Yeah.
Which I'm not. So, but at least that's a valid reason. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. I mean, yeah, I get that. I get the appeal to Halloween. I just like in my older age, I'm like, ugh.
You just hate everything?
No. I think I value like more, I don't know, not to be sappy, but more like family stuff.
Aww.
I think I enjoy doing that. But okay. I guess I did. Yeah, I guess I didn't used to be like that though. I guess I put Halloween higher on the list when I was younger. Especially in college, like we went to a few like cool Halloween parties and like we had some clever costumes.
Yeah.
It was fun. Like that was fun thinking about like things you could dress up as like a group that people would like recognize and things like that.
Right.
That was fun. And that people weren't seeing.
Right.
Like if anybody remembers those like Alltel guys.
Oh yeah,
commercial
like
like yeah, like what was it? Like 6 years ago, 7 years ago or something like that. Me and my college friends went as those guys and like that was like a clip. Like no one did that.
Yeah, that was
like
good.
No one did.
That was good.
And we all like matched them too.
Bunch of nerds.
That was sweet. But that was the kind of thing that was fun, is thinking about those kind of things.
Yeah.
But
all right. Well, Halloween is tomorrow, so everyone doing shit, be safe. Last week I went to Marcus Ryan's show. He opened up for Prof in Grand Rapids at the Pyramid Scheme, and he killed it. That was a really good show. It was the first time I got to see him perform live, because when he did the Lansing show, I'm stuck in the green room, so I didn't get to see him.
Right.
But he killed it. The show was just really good overall. I know the Green Mitten Boys and Marcus pushed a lot of tickets. Like, they did a good job promoting, and Prof sold a bunch of tickets. So I don't know what capacity there is, but it was damn near sold out.
Yeah, it looked super lit on the Instagram stories and stuff.
But yeah, also just cool to see like Prof, who's, I'm not super familiar with him, but he's part of Rhymesayers, which is obviously, you know, super rooted in hip hop and been around for a long time.
Yep.
Well known, like, independent label. And it's cool to just see those grassroots movements succeed. Like, right. Prof, we always talk this day and age like Spotify numbers and all these different things that are like this new age thing, but it's so hard to tell what those numbers mean as far as like a real fan base and something to grasp onto.
Right.
But like Prof, he's from Minnesota. He did this show on a Wednesday night in Grand Rapids, and that shit was damn near sold out. If you look at this guy's Spotify, he's not even as big as me.
Yeah.
I couldn't go to Minnesota and sell some shit out.
Right.
Like,
I mean,
those numbers
goes to show the label like that they're really doing a good
job.
job.
And what he's doing, like, just grassroots movement, you know, and it also gives you validation. You know, Danny was telling me they pulled up in just a van pulling a trailer. There were two traveling openers, and they were all traveling together, just real grimy underground shit, making their money on the road, selling their merch, doing that shit. And I just love seeing that, as opposed to everything these days in hip hop is so image.
Right.
But that was dope because they got something real there. But
yeah, that's cool.
But yeah, really good show. Marcus killed it. Everyone killed it. What else? Oh, MSU, big football victory to bounce back.
Yep.
Keeping the season somewhat alive. Respectable. Lions with a big loss, not turning the corner like I thought they were.
Oh, you know what? Going along the lines of the Rhymesayers thing, and because I was just thinking this weekend, like, I know that like a lot of people love to view labels as like the big bad guy and stuff like that, but I was just like, labels and everything had to come from somewhere. Mm-hmm. Like, they were formed some way. Like, that couldn't have always been like this big conglomerate type of a thing. Like,
you mean like big labels had to start somewhere?
Yeah. Like all the labels had to start somewhere, but yeah, especially the bigger ones is what I was thinking about.
Right.
And I was just like, you know, we have all these superstars and everything, and it's because of the big labels that happens. Like, you can't really be a superstar without some sort of big.
I mean, if you are, it's very few and far between.
It's super rare.
Right.
Super rare. So to me, it's like, I feel there's half of me that, and I know it's an unpopular opinion or whatever. This beard is insane. I know it's an unpopular opinion, but like half of me is just like, dude, sometimes labels get like a bad rap. Like not even sometimes, but the majority of the time, like are artists like, do they kind of take them for granted or like,
yes.
Like,
I mean, we've kind of talked about that before because as independent artists and things that
but more so than what they should though.
As independent artists and a lot of the principles we stand on, there's lots of things that are whack about major labels. And I think that's the main thing that always comes across when we talk. But we also have brought up the fact that major labels are good to certain artists, certain types of artists. They're also almost necessary for the ecosystem. Like you said, you want to make a star. They have a lot of things that can make a star. I've openly said, as much as I see so many benefits to the independent music life for me at this point, if I had a meeting with it, like I would always take a meeting with a major label.
Right.
Because there's so much that they could offer me that I just can't get by myself.
Right.
Now, if a lot of those meetings, they would try to get me to sign my life away, and I wouldn't do that.
Right.
But I would always take the meeting to see what they had to offer and see what I'm willing to give up for it.
Well, and I guess that's why I was thinking about it, though, is half of me was like, and it goes with the majors and the independent labels, so much of it is before you were signed, you were this. And then after, and a few years into it, you're this. But you forget what you were before.
Right.
It's almost like before didn't happen.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying?
It's an entitlement thing. I'm super dope, so I was going to be this no matter what.
Yeah. Well, and I made a mistake of signing to the label because I was going to be this anyway.
But if that was the case, why'd you sign to the label in the first place?
Right.
That's what everyone always forgets.
I think that's what fans forget, though, too, is like, because fans are so much on the side of artists, regardless of what the label says,
right? That
like it is kind of concerning as far as you,
dude. If you found out right now that Cardi B was getting quote unquote fucked over by her label, right?
Right.
Let's say her label was taking literally every dime of everything she made musically.
Okay.
I still would be like, no, they're not fucking her over. Right. She could literally go book an appearance somewhere and make amazing money right now.
Yeah.
Like, she's
more money than I'll make.
She's Cardi B now.
Yeah.
And
she'd probably be able to make in one appearance more money than I would make in 3 months.
And that's because of the label.
Right. Exactly.
And yet, and the bottom line with all this shit too is when you sign on board, you know what you're signing. Like,
no,
yeah, they're grimy sometimes, and you hear certain stories, and that's when I'm very much with the artist. There is some grimy shit.
Right.
But you can't just get into something, and we've talked about this before, so I don't want to beat a dead horse, but you can't just sign up for something and then 2 months later say, oh, I didn't know it was going to be like this.
Right. Right.
And you can't forget all the benefits. It's like you said, you can't forget what you were before you signed that deal.
Right. Exactly.
But I guess I hear what you're saying. Are you saying basically the bottom line is you're saying you can see the development of like a label like the Specktators Collective years down the line becoming like a Rhyme Sayers, and then years down the line that becoming like a Def Jam. Like, how a label could develop
right.
from the good independent underground to the conglomerate,
right.
just because they got big and successful.
But I think what is unsaid when stuff like that happens is, I think how a label becomes big like that is because artists stuck with it, like with them, and made them into.
Dude,
like,
you look at Rhymesayers. They have like legacy acts,
right?
Damn near.
But
Atmosphere and MF Doom, and
I guess that's the concerning thing is, like, I do think more and more this day and age, more so than in the past, I feel like there was more loyalty in the past, and there's not anymore.
Yeah, but I don't blame artists for that, because
I think they're partly to blame, though.
They have something to do with it, yeah, but there's zero loyalty on the side of the label. The label's in it for making money.
Yeah.
So the artist has to do what's in their best interest. They can't say it's the same way I look at like the new phase in the NBA is players are in control of where they go.
Yeah.
Never used to be like that.
Right.
So they're trying to put different incentives into the NBA to staying with your team. Like, you can make more money now if you stay with your team, because they have to put those incentives in there to make it so all these guys aren't going to the big markets and teaming up with each other.
Right.
But to me, yes, like to your point, is that making some things in the NBA whack because you're getting these dream teams and you're getting certain things that you don't like as a fan? Yeah, but these players have every right to
I'm not
be happy.
I'm not saying that, but to me, loyalty goes beyond I have every right to do what I want. Like,
true,
that's not what I'm talking about. Of course, in every situation, you have every right to do whatever you want.
True,
like that's what it is. Like, I have every right now to walk away from this right now.
Right. No, that's true. I guess the reason I hesitate to really get too far into the loyalty thing is I just keep thinking about like the Specktators collective. And it's like, if any one of our artists didn't want to be here,
right,
or thought it was better somewhere else and
right,
wanted to do that, I would immediately be like, yeah, go, like,
right,
go do that.
Yeah.
Like, I'm not trying to,
and I'm not.
And so when I think about the whole loyalty of artists to labels and stuff, I don't think an artist should I think if you feel loyalty toward a label, that's awesome and that's great because your relationship is good. If you don't, it just is what it is.
Right. But I think opportunities and just success suffer when there isn't that initial feeling of loyalty, which I don't think that it's pretty rare these days. I think everybody's on pins and needles being like,
I mean, yeah, I guess look at it this way. Some of the best, like, what would you say the best label in hip hop is right now?
Well, I'll tell you one thing. It's crazy what Def Jam has done, like, since they became a thing. Like, the artists that made them big stayed with them forever.
Well, take it a step down. You're talking big conglomerate labels. Look at like especially like artist labels, or like you know what some of the best ones are? MMG.
Right.
Rick Ross. Very loyal.
Right. Yeah.
All about his artists.
Yeah.
Meek Mill, Wale.
Yeah.
All about it. And do they have their issues? Yeah. Wale's had issues with some of that shit.
Yeah.
Like Rocky Fresh, I think he just got out of his deal. I think he's with Rostrum now. Like, there's obviously always going to be issues in business.
Right.
But they seem like a tight-knit, you know what it is. And you know who I think the best one is in hip-hop? And it seems like the tightest knit, like most family-oriented, loyal shit?
Yeah.
TDE.
Yeah. For sure.
I mean, they're all about the group.
Yeah.
Everybody gets their time to shine. They're all part of a plan. They're very well organized and led.
Do you know what I noticed, though, in like when you're talking MMG compared to TDE? Mm-hmm. Is everybody on TDE seems to have a very good balanced head on their shoulders. When they talk in any interview that I've heard, mm-hmm. they don't seem like absurd human beings.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Now, take an artist like Wale,
Yeah.
sometimes not balanced.
Oh,
like,
for sure. Yeah.
Not like, and the thing is, he could go off the hinges so easily that sometimes you have to wonder if these issues that he has are really issues.
Oh yeah. Oh, of course. And that's part of the problem with artists and business and social media and things like that is the big business is never just going to go out there and put all their shit on social media, however they're feeling emotionally and all this shit. But an artist is.
But the thing is,
if an artist is feeling slighted, you're going to hear about it. Whereas if an artist is not holding up their end of the bargain or fucking over a label, you're not going to hear shit about it. You're just going to see that artist being unhappy.
right. And that's why I say, though, is
because the label is going to be taking it out in actual business ways and not over social media.
The artist has the advantage of only being worried about themselves, whereas the label, when they open their mouth, they have to think about not only the artist that's going against them, but every single other artist on the label.
What you're saying right there, though, is why I don't think an artist has to be overly loyal to a label, because the artist only has to worry about themselves, and rightly so. Whereas the label has all these other people to worry about. So if I have 10 people to worry about and Wale's on my label, there's a decent likelihood that something's going to come up at some point that it would be good for me to do this with Wale, but he gets put a little on the back burner because I got to do some shit with another artist or something. And if he feels like another label can service that shit better, then he shouldn't feel overly loyal, because maybe he's right.
Yeah, but I think that's a cause and effect thing, though, because while the label works and the label works and the label works to get an artist to a certain point, and then all of a sudden, because they have to take a backseat one or two times for the label for their business and everything, they go off the deep end. I don't think that's right.
I'm not saying going off the deep end is right. I'm just saying I'm saying the simple fact of I don't think artists should be over. I think it's business.
That to me is the loyalty thing, though. As far as like, I did all this stuff for you. Can you do this for me?
Maybe we'll agree on this, because I'm not saying there should it's not cool to have. I think the more loyalty, the better. Don't get me wrong. Like I said, TDE seems super. But I would say, as far as what an expectation from an artist should be, as far as loyalty, I think it should be just like any other job.
Yes.
You're loyal to your employer.
Yes.
Like, if some better opportunity comes up, take that shit.
Yeah. No, I totally agree with that. But I think in most cases, well, I feel like if you would take like the business world in the United States today, other than like huge like corporations type of thing, there's a lot of businesses in the United States that have, I think, a lot better loyalty than any of these labels do.
Yeah.
And I think they're successful because of it.
Yeah, like I said, I think it helps. Like
I think actually people that are in the corporate world,
I think it helps, but I think it's like I said at the beginning, you're putting a fair amount of onus on the artist. I think the most goes on these labels. Like, these labels have to do whatever it takes to get the loyalty from these artists.
Yeah.
TDE's obviously doing something right to get the loyalty from these artists.
But you have to think,
business is business. If the label's doing wrong by artists, they're gonna leave. If you're doing right by them, they're gonna stay.
Yeah, but I think everybody's degree of right and wrong is different.
Yes, which is why as a label, just like any other employer too, you want to make sure you know who you're hiring.
Yeah, no, I agree.
It's more than just, are they talented? Like, we're learning a lot of things as we go with our shit, but it is more than just, are you talented?
Right. Yeah.
Like you said with TD, they all seem to have decent heads on their shoulders, know how to handle themselves in interviews. They big up each other, all this shit.
Right.
That's not by accident.
Right. Yeah. Yeah, I think you're right as far as, it's not all about talent. You can't just base it on whether or not they can sing or rap or whatever. Like, they have to be well-rounded in order to be easy to work with. Because if you hire the guy that's just good at what they do, they're probably not the easiest to work with.
Well, I wouldn't say that, but you just need to be aware of
Be
both.
prepared. Be prepared. Yeah.
Right. All right. Well, what do we got? Dude, we've had some slow, like news topic, fun topic weeks. I feel like I've been coming in here. There was a stretch for like a couple months stretch where we were getting new music, new projects, shit happening, people popping off in the news, and we've had a few weeks of like me having to search for shit to talk about.
Yeah, I mean, I pretty much made up that topic just because there's really not much to talk about.
Oh, we should have new merch in this week or next week.
Hopefully this week. I'm waiting on. They should have all been in this week. I haven't gotten a notification from one item that I'm expecting in this week, but I'm hoping it does show up this week.
Okay. And are we gonna wait till we get everything to roll it out?
I think we have to. Yeah.
That's a nice new ball cap you got there.
Yep, that'll be in the merch shop. New colorway for the old spec hats, the spec shield hats. We got a dope new design, hoodie design, and we got a few.
Yeah, I'm excited. We got some good shit. So this popped up a while back on I think it was on my Twitter feed, and it made me think because it's kind of something we do here and there on this podcast, and it sounds stupid at first, but it's kind of going on a lot in like the video, YouTube, podcast world. Someone said that something along the lines of someone should do a podcast where they critique critics.
Critique critics.
So like, and we kind of we halfway do that sometimes, and a lot of people do unknowingly, where like, okay, for example, take like take First Take.
Okay.
They're basically critics of sporting events,
right,
and things going on in sports.
Yeah.
Someone needs to do a show poking holes in like all their fucking shit.
Gotcha. That would be.
Do you think that would catch on? Because I think, dude,
that would catch on, but that would be.
You'd have to do it in a clever way. As far as like, there's big. Okay, so you have like First Take, and there's whatever the Undisputed is, right?
Yeah. And
maybe like one other one. You'd have to take the biggest things in whatever realm. Like hip hop, you got Breakfast Club, things that people are tuned into all the time. Right. They're not straight up critique shows, but that's kind of what they do.
Yeah.
Even like every time we talk, like we reference, when I came in and referenced like No Jumper or we'll reference like the Joe Budden podcast or whatever, and some of their takes on things.
Right.
And then we talk about that. That's kind of like critiquing the critic.
Yeah, for sure.
But it's a decent like checks and balance type thing. But then you get into the whole world of like, how deep does it go then?
Right.
Then someone critiques you, and then it's
right.
But well, I feel the reason I thought about that is because this day and age, I think those things are so prevalent, right? Like you see the clip of First Take, you see a clip of Charlemagne talking some shit on Breakfast Club, right?
Yeah.
And you see those and you take them in, and you might not even have seen whatever original content they're talking about.
Right.
Whatever situation. And we take their word as gospel.
Right.
Not me, but lots of people do that shit. And I guess here and there I probably do similar shit. I just don't even think about it.
Right.
But I think we all need to be a little more aware that that's one person's take on some shit.
Right.
And if you didn't even know what they're talking about.
Right. Yeah. No, I know. I think that would be interesting. I think it would just be a matter of like being able to go find these things and
right.
Even have you like or have anybody who did that disagree with whatever they're saying too, like, because you have to take a stance that's not like what they're saying. You know what I'm saying?
Right. Yeah. You'd basically, and that's kind of, I do it half the time on here. Like when I hear somebody talking about some shit that seems to kind of be a popular opinion. Like people just are kind of going with him. And I'm like, no, hold up.
Yeah.
This is stupid because A, B, and C.
Yeah, because of this, and this. Yeah. Yeah, could be entertaining.
Podcast about a podcast. Critique of a critic.
Yeah.
Because I think we all kind of do that. I think that's why those debate shows and things like that are so popular.
Right.
We all like to hear people's opinions because we all have our own. And, you know, like Skip Bayless was the first like super popular sport just debater.
Right.
Right?
Right.
And now there's a whole world of that shit.
Right. Yeah.
But he wasn't just popular because everyone was like, wow, amazing takes.
Right.
People hated it.
Right.
A lot of his takes. But there were people that agreed with him out there. That's why he was able to do what he did.
Right.
But you have people on both sides, and that's why debate is good. But I think it would be interesting to give like a louder voice to disagreeing with these motherfuckers.
Yeah.
And if you could get it big enough, like you'd wonder if you could get it big enough to be a thing where like you actually get these people to know who you are, and like you pick apart some of their arguments.
Yeah.
If they started to become aware of that shit out there.
Yeah. I could see how that'd be entertaining for sure.
The other thing is you'd have to be good at like real time type shit.
Right.
You know, you couldn't be like a weekly podcast where you're like, so last week during the Lions Seahawks game,
right,
next morning Skip Bayless said this shit, and I wanted to touch on that. It's like nobody cares a week later.
Right, right. A lot of topics, yeah, it has to be the day after.
You'd have to kind of just do like a start your own Instagram account with it or something like that, and just like go like while people are watching First Take.
Right.
You'd have to be kind of on the spot as soon as it was done airing. You go post.
Right. Yeah, you could like DVR it live and then like pause it, talk about why he was wrong, and then go back into it, watch it, and then just reviewership.
Because, dude, I think about that all the time. Like, I don't really watch it much anymore, but I used to watch First Take a lot. And so many times I was like, what in the world? Like, what is he talking about? This makes no sense because of A, B, and C. And no one's even, that's when it gets frustrating, is that's why the debate is so good, because you always hope when one person makes some outlandish, stupid point, the other person calls them out.
Right, right.
But when it doesn't get called out, you're like, what?
Right. Yeah.
Or when they both just agree. Like, we probably do it up here. We'll talk about some topic. We'll both just be in agreement on it and blah, blah, blah. And someone's out here listening like, what the hell? Like, no, this. And but I guess that's just the nature of what goes on.
Yeah. I mean, I think that's what makes things entertaining to watch, too. Like, I like watching things that I disagree with.
Yeah, I guess. It's annoying, but I guess it's entertaining.
I feel like it educates me, though, too, on things that I probably didn't think about.
I have a question for you.
What?
How much cocaine does Gary Vee do? This dude, like, I like Gary Vee, so don't get me wrong. This is joking. But every time this dude pops up on my computer or wherever, he's just talking a mile a minute or 100 miles a minute. Yeah. And I don't know, like, okay, so I'm not a loyal listener of his, right?
Right.
But I know who he is and kind of the things. Do you listen to him?
I used to listen to him a lot. I don't listen to him anymore.
Part of my thing with him is, and I'm sure he probably does, but I guess my question is, how new is his content continuously? Because he puts out so much.
Yeah, but if you have ever listened to him for a decent period of time, he says in his stuff that he makes content for the person that is first coming in. Like,
he doesn't expect to have a long shelf life.
He says if you're listening to his stuff for more than like a certain period of time, you need to do something else.
Dope.
Because his point is that he's trying to get you off your shit. Yeah. And like do stuff.
Okay.
And he's saying if you listen to a year's worth of me, you got something else going on, because that's not the way
I like that he just says that. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, dope. That answers my question. Because every time he pops up, he's just talking about like the same type of shit, which is cool because I guess everybody kind of does that.
Yeah.
But at the same time, for his purposes, his like motivational, entrepreneurial, get off your ass and do something shit. It's like what you said. And it's cool that he acknowledges it of like, how many times can you hear that shit? You're either going to do it or you're not.
Yeah. Yeah. He says that multiple times in his stuff.
Word. Oh, have you seen Joe Rogan's new stand-up?
Yeah, it's
super
hilarious.
funny, dude.
Yeah.
I want to
I got to show Aaron that.
Danny Griffith's big on that type of comedy and stand-ups. I wanted to ask him if he's watched it, and if not, I'm about to go watch that shit with him because that shit's hilarious.
Yeah, that was awesome.
And I didn't like. I watch his podcast a fair amount, like a decent amount, depending on who the guest is and shit. And I don't think I'd ever seen a full stand-up of his. And just listening to him on his podcast, he's entertaining to listen to speak, and the guests he has on and how he interacts with them is entertaining. But I wasn't sure how he would be just as a stand-up.
Yeah,
that shit was fun.
I've seen another one of his stand-up ones, and I liked it.
Well, I went back and watched his other one. I think it was called like Triggered or something.
Yeah, I can't remember.
It was from like 2015 maybe, but he was like yelling through the whole thing.
Yeah, I think that might have been the one that I saw.
Okay.
But that's the thing is he had like a couple funny things in it, and I liked it. It wasn't anything that I was like, I want somebody else to see this or anything like that. But this last one was like that. Like it was funny.
Yeah.
Like through the whole thing.
And it is. He talks about it on his podcast a lot. Like this day and age with the social climate of PC-ness and not being able to say anything without offending somebody, it's got to be so hard to do comedy.
Oh, yeah. And
so someone that can do a good stand-up routine and not be crucified for it,
right?
It's pretty impressive because, man, I can't imagine trying to put together a comedy stand-up without getting quote-unquote canceled by the culture.
Right.
So
no, it's pretty absurd these days.
But yeah, I mean, dude, you hear like you hear different things on the internet about comedians who are, because they said thus and such in their stand-up routine, are being like, lawsuits are being filed against them and shit like that, because like hate speech and shit It's like, it's comedy, man.
It's absurd.
If you don't like it, don't listen. They're not like inciting riots or everything or anything.
It's like what I say all the time. People get too offended of every little thing. Like, does somebody's speech really offend you that much? Like, you got to be the softest person ever.
Yeah. I guess the last thing I even had written down that's been going on, I had a couple serious topics, but with the Halloween spirit and you bringing these masks in, I didn't feel like having snippets of us talking about serious shit this going down, so we can save them for another time. But Red Dead Redemption, it's the big craze.
I keep hearing about it, and I have no idea what it is.
See, that's
it's a video game.
Our fan base is gonna hate.
Yo, I am so bad at, like, even back in the day, dude, I just was not the biggest video game guy. Like, I just wasn't.
So Dags is all about it, and he got it, and he said he's been putting in work.
Does Dags still play like hardcore video games?
I guess. But I might need to go over there and see what all the hype is about.
Is it a shooter? Like, I don't even know what it is.
I think it's like I don't want to sound stupid, so I'm just gonna.
Well, everybody in the comments is gonna be.
Yeah.
You don't know what Red Dead is? Get the fuck out of there.
But yeah, well, I know they are, because it's like that's the thing. Like, that's the thing in the video game world right now.
Shooters?
No, Red Dead.
Oh, Red Dead. Red Dead itself is the thing.
Yeah.
I got you.
Joel's probably gonna be like, "What the fuck?"
Yeah, well, yeah, of course.
But this is the type of shit why it's frustrating for me, because I was never like the big video game guy, but at the same time it's interesting to me. Like, I know if I were to go, like, if I had a system and I went and sat down and got Red Dead and played it for like a week, I'd probably be addicted.
Yeah.
And that's part of the reason why I don't.
Right.
But at the same time, knowing that, it's like, I'm kind of interested to see what this shit is about. Like, when so many people in an area that you know you can fuck with shit in are that into something, it's like, how do you keep yourself from wanting to see what it's all about? You know?
I guess. Just feel like I don't have time to play video games.
Yeah, you barely have time to mix my music.
That's right. Got to stay busy, Packy. Got to start driving that Uber.
I'm about to, for real. I'm about to wear this mask while I do it.
That'd be insane. I can't believe I've sat across from you for about 50 minutes here with that stupid mask on.
This shit's fire. I'm about to hand out Halloween candy and this shit.
Dope. Killing it. All right.
Well, dude, here's to hoping that we get some breaking hip-hop news in the next week. Some people doing some shit.
Yeah.
Otherwise, this is my pledge to you guys right here that I'm gonna, if something doesn't break in the next week, I'm gonna come up with a good ass topic that I'm gonna debate Moe-T's ass on.
And we're
getting close to having to rank albums this year.
Yeah,
because we're getting down to the end of the year.
Yep.
I don't really know even what to expect before the end of the year.
Did I tell you that Joel asked to get in on that one?
Did he?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Well, we should probably do that. Like, I don't think we have to wait till the last episode of the year. We can just kind of do that
sometime in December, I would feel like.
Okay. All right, well, there you go. You heard it here first. Joel coming on to rank albums before the end of the year.
That's right. I got to get another guest or two on here before the end of the year.
I don't fuck with anybody, though.
There's got to be somebody we can get on here.
No, I don't fuck with anybody.
You got to broaden your horizons. Sleeve
wants to come on.
Yeah, I don't give a fuck about Sleeve. What is he doing these days? Nothing.
Dude, Gary, I went to look at, it had been a while since I've seen his podcast pop up in my inbox. I was like, what's he been doing? He's slacking. He was doing podcasts every week, and now.
Yeah, see, it's not for everybody. This shit isn't. It's hard.
Not everyone can handle this shit.
It's hard to get in here every week and talk about stuff.
Dude, I don't know how.
Especially weeks like this.
I don't know how people do the daily podcasts.
That is insane. I wouldn't even want to do that. That's too much.
Yeah,
it's too much to talk about.
Well, and part of the reason is like, okay, yes, in a week, plenty of shit has happened in the world, right?
Right.
But we said from the beginning, like, I don't want to, like, for example, we got elections coming up. Like, there's been a lot going on in the political world.
Right.
And I like that shit comes across my screen, and I'm aware of a lot of the shit going on. I don't want to talk about that shit on this podcast. Right. So, like, yeah, we could go deep dive on some bullshit like that. I don't want to.
Right.
So I'm talking about, like, hip hop, music, entrepreneurial, some sports, shit like that. Interesting, fun shit like that. And there just hasn't been much going on in the last few weeks.
No, there hasn't.
All right. Well, enough being in the doldrums about nothing going on. We're going to make shit pop next week, I promise. Oh, did we get any questions?
No, we did not.
No, see that it
no
tells
voicemails.
You. It's all bad.
It's all bad.
All right.
Nobody wanted to participate.
Okay. Well, I'm just go fuck myself.
Nobody wanted to participate. Next week, get in your voicemails. We need some topics, some questions, answering anything and everything. I'm gonna get on. I have you know Aaron's friend Allison, right?
Mm-hmm.
Her boyfriend, like, and he's gonna kill me if I get this wrong, but he does something with a video game team, like that. I know a lot of our fans like, and I know Joel would know all about and stuff like that. It's called Onslaught, and he's been begging me to come on this podcast and like explain to me like what all of that shit is, because I have literally no idea that world and stuff, but I know our fans really know that world. So it might be.
Oh, he's been begging you to come on our podcast?
On our podcast, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. So I think we, that could be something interesting at least to like talk about.
It could be if we knew shit about video games, which apparently we don't.
Well, I would be interested just to know it. Have somebody explain it to me on the podcast.
Yeah. Maybe we could get him and Joel both on.
Yeah. Maybe that would be interesting. Like the video if you want, but don't dislike it. All right. Okay, that effect needs to go away. I'm gonna cut off your shit if you keep doing that.
You're gonna cut off my shit.
All right.
What?
I need to take this mask off, so we need to get out of here.
Just so you guys know, Moe-T was trying to fuck with our setup in here. Literally took 2 hours for us to even be able to get started today.
I'm trying to do new shit for you guys.
No, he's not.
It's unappreciated.
He's trying to make his own shit tighter. Has nothing to do with you guys.
Bullshit. All right. We'll see you next week.
Happy Halloween!
I'm gonna come get some candy. It'll be speaking my language. You could talk shit, but I speak in no language.
Get this old bullshit out of here.
Leaving with who she came with. Haters never gonna get to me. You can